Good afternoon, I'm Corporal Snyder. I'm going to be your instructor today, teaching you how to locate an unknown point on a map using intersection. Today's overall risk assessment is low. However, we got anthills there, over here, kind of all around us, so make sure you're being mindful of your hand placement, maintain situational awareness throughout today's instruction. Also, prior to this call, there was debris, broken glass, some things out around here, so again, mindful of hand placement. We don't want anybody cutting their hands or anything like that, so make sure you're wearing your gloves today. Also, it is a little warm out here. It's kind of hot. We are in full PPE, so make sure you're drinking water. I have my water source here. So make sure everybody's hydrating so we don't have any heat injuries today. Let's be safe. It is the responsibility of all DoD personnel and civilians to protect and preserve the environment. So also just be mindful of wildlife. We don't want to harm the wildlife. We don't want to disrupt the environment. Task conditions and standards today. Tasks. I will be briefing this class. I have one PAX here today. We'll be briefing on how to locate an unknown point on a map using intersection. Conditions. We are outside today, Fort Benning, right next to Lawson Army Airfield. Standards. By the end of this class, my one PAX taking the class will have a better understanding of how to locate an unknown point using intersection. Today, for this class, you are going to need a topographical map, which we have map marker eraser, and a protractor today. The whole point of using intersection is to locate an unknown point on a map using two known locations. So our unknown location from this vantage point is going to be out on the airfield. Its description: it is a red and white checkered building on the airfield. That is our unknown point that we are trying to identify today. I have located our first known point, which is where we are currently at, right here at this location. We are already marked on the map. Our second known location, which if we were doing this in real life, I would actually pick up the team and we would move to this second location, but for today, I have already marked it on the map and I have a predetermined azimuth, so we will not be moving there to that point, but I will annotate where it is on the map and we will notionally shoot our azimuth from that point today. First thing we would do today, we would orient ourselves to the map. once I've done that, I'm going to take my compass, using the red numbers on my lens-static compass, I am going to shoot an azimuth toward my unknown location. There are a couple methods to do this. You can hold it here at chest level to get your point, or there is the cheek method. So, I have my point, I have my azimuth 226 degrees. However, I am going to convert that on our GMing, which you can see that at the bottom of our map. So now our azimuth is now 220 degrees because we subtracted from our GM angle. So going back to where we previously marked our center point on our map, where it marks 220 degrees on my map. Excuse me, on my protractor. Once I see it, I'm going to annotate it with a tick mark. Make that tick mark. Then, using a straight edge, and I'm just going to use my protractor, I'm going to draw a straight line from my position all the way to that tick mark that I drew. Make sure you're on a flat surface because it can move around, like mine is doing right now. And if it needs to be longer, you want to make it long. You want to make it long. Okay. I now have my straight line. So at this point, I would move to my second known location, which our second known location, if I didn't already mention earlier, is an intersection, a hardball road intersection. Meters. This road. The predetermined azimuth that I got from that location was 260 degrees. Now, with our GM angle, it is 256 degrees. That is our known converted azimuth. So, that location is marked right here on the map. Now, excuse me. Lost it. There we go. It's right here. Now, we've done that. I'm going to find 254 degrees. There, on that tick mark. And it's the exact same steps that I did last time. So from that intersection, I'm going to do another straight line. If it seems like I'm taking a long time, it's because I am. With land navigation, you want to take your time. You want to do this properly. It's not something you want to rush. You want to be as accurate as possible. Okay. Now, again, my stuff doesn't blow away. So now, on my map, you see where I drew my lines, they intersect. Where these lines have intersected, that is going to be my location of that unknown point. It is now marked on my map. If I wanted to, most cases, you're going to want to do this because you're trying to get that location. You need it for a reason. You might not be needing to move to that point. You may need to be getting a grid for that point. So, if that's the case, now I'm going to plot that grid. So with that, now, using my protractor, I have gotten a 8-digit grid on my now unknown point using intersection. So now, with that, I will have one PAX that I am teaching today come forward and show me that he has got a comprehensive understanding of what I've instructed here today.
What I will need for this is a protractor, a lensatic compass, map markers, and a 150,000 scale map. Since the map is already oriented to the correct way, I do not have to orient it. However, if it wasn't oriented, I would orient it using a compass. And then another thing that usually goes wrong or something, a mistake people make is I'm looking at a map south facing facing the south end of the map. I have to make sure that my protractor is facing the correct way so I don't mess up on the azimuths. Alright, so our point is already marked on the map, from my understanding, which is right here. And then there is a hardball road that is a known point, 200 meters to our left. Usually we would go there, but my understanding we're not going there to mitigate risk, and it's a learning environment as of right now. So I marked my current location on the map right here. And I shoot azimuth using either the center hole method or the compass to cheek method, from my understanding. Almost made a mistake.
Yep. Make sure your protractor is not flip-flopped.
And the azimuth that I got was 200. Was roughly 220. And then
now, is that 220 with or without the GM angle?
That's 220 without the GM angle. So I will be converting that, and that will be about 216. Mark 216. Draw a line. A very far line. And then I will plot the other point that I am looking at. I am shooting an azimuth from. And notionally,
You got it right. Good.
And then I plot that azimuth. I'm just making sure that my protractor is correct. Yep, which is about 250 without the GM angle, which will end up being about 246. And then draw a line. And then where those lines intersect is where my unknown point is. Okay. And now, since I am not working on a map, I will put my gloves back on.
Okay, thank you. So now I'm going to check your work. I've instructed, you were correct. You were a couple, maybe a degree or two off. You can tell there's kind of a little bit of space between our lines, but that's okay. A couple degrees at this distance, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to put us completely off azimuth. However, when you start getting to greater distances, being a couple degrees off is going to make a little bit of a difference. There are different things that can throw off those azimuths, like if you have metal on your gear, or any kind of thing like that. So we do want to be as accurate as possible, but you and I are only a couple degrees difference. It's still accurate though. Okay, I'm going to do a slight check on learning. Alright, so after you've shot your azimuths, what is it on the map now, after you've done your work, that identifies that unknown point?
It is, Sergeant, Corporal, it is the X that the two lines make. It's the intersection that the two lines make.
Yes, exactly. Where the two lines intersect. Now, before you start getting your azimuth, like you've already shot your azimuth on your compass, and before you start using it on your protractor, what must you do to that azimuth before you start making tick marks on the map?
You must refer to the GM angle on the map, and make an adjustment according to the GM angle.
Exactly. Now, fix up my gear. Okay, so today, gonna conduct a small AAR. So today, our goal was to come out here today, outside Lawson Army Airfield, and discuss how to locate an unknown point using intersection. We came out here today, we did that, we brought our map, we brought all of our land nav materials, outside shot actual azimuths toward actual unknown points using two actual known points. So we did get good hands-on quality training. So from this point, I will take sustains and improves from Corporal Ben here.
Sustains, I would say, Corporal, are your knowledge of the subject. It's obvious that you know what you're talking about. You were making corrections to me as I was going through, as I was making mistakes. You corrected me very well, and I now have a better understanding, grasp of the concept. Improves, at times, it was a little difficult to hear you because of the trees rustling and the wind. And of course, since we're on an airfield, the airplanes taking off. Corporal.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, I agree. It was very hard to sometimes talk over the planes. A little bit windy today. I still think it was a small sacrifice willing to be made in order to get this quality of training. But noted, in the future, if it's this windy, we will definitely try to move to a location where we can be easily heard. So with that, I'm going to close down the training site.